to the audience. And do you agree that just because two people are interested in the same thing, that you should talk to them the same way?
Well, not really.
Exactly. So the same way you talk to your grandma is different to how you talk to your school friends, right?
Right.
What's different?
Well, humour, I think, is the first thing my mind went to. Would be different. And obviously your level of politeness. I'm sure you can joke around more with your friends. Whereas there's a certain level of respect that you have with elders.
Mm-hmm.
How you talk as well.
So you have things like your tone of voice, language, even the things that you might choose to discuss are slightly different. Yeah. The depth that you might go into about when you went to a party last night with your grandma is a difference to how you would go into it with your school friends, right? You talk about different sections of that. And that's how brands interact and how they can either do this very well and create an audience, or sometimes they can do this very badly and it causes backlash. So before we go into segmentation and what that actually looks like and how we break people into different groups, let's look at a couple examples of brands that have used a tone of voice and decided to home in and speak to a specific person in order to sell a product, right? So I'll play the ad and then we can sort of break it down. I can just get your initial reaction on it and then we can work out who they're actually talking to and why. Does that make sense?
Okay.
Hello, ladies. Look at your man. Now back to me. Now back at your man. Now back to me. Sadly, he isn't me. But if he stopped using lady-scented body wash and switched to Old Spice, he could smell like he's me. Look down. Back up. Where are you? You're on a boat with the man your man could smell like. What's in your hand? Back at me. I have it. It's an oyster with 2 tickets to that thing you love. Look again. The tickets are now diamonds. Anything is possible when your man smells like Old Spice and not a lady. I'm on a horse.
What just happened?
Firstly, what were they selling?
Soap.
Soap?
Like body wash or something.
Yeah, right. Old Spice, yeah?
Mm-hmm.
Who were they talking to?
Wives or like girlfriends?
Girlfriends. And was the product for girls?
No.
Who's it for?
Men.
Men. Why talk to the women?
Pause. Hold on. I don't even know. Like, that's really weird.
So think about it. I don't want to be stereotypical, but obviously they must have done research. Who goes shopping more?
Oh, okay. The women.
Okay. So why talk to the women?
Oh, because they'll be the ones that are buying the product.
Would you ever forget that advert now?
Probably not, no.
So they use a tone of voice, humour. They spoke to a specific audience in a silly way. When girlfriends and so forth are in the shop and they see Old Spice, they're going to be like, oh yeah, brand recognition, and put it in. And that advert done very well for them. All right. So let's look at another one by Apple. It's another old advert. And we can have a look at who they're talking to and why it worked. And this one also done quite well.
Here's to the crazy ones. The misfits, the rebels, the troublemakers, the round pegs in the square holes, the ones who see things differently. They're not fond of rules, and they have no respect for the status quo. You can quote them, disagree with them, glorify or vilify them, but the only thing you can't do is ignore them, because they change things. They push the human race forward. And while some may see them as the crazy ones, we see genius. Because the people who are crazy enough to think they can change the world are the ones who do.
All right. So who do you feel that was aimed at?
I'm not sure.
Who did you see on there?
Is this a trick question?
No?
Like the people that I saw?
Yeah. You saw like Albert Einstein,
Gandhi? Martin Luther King?
Martin Luther King. What do they all have in common?
They changed the world somehow.
Okay. So you talk about professionals and you talk about creatives. that have these aspirations of creating something that changes the world. And through their advert, they're basically talking to those people that have those aspirations, saying, if you're this type of person, you use our product. The people that think outside of the box, that have these aspirations and want to achieve more. Yeah.
Okay. Yeah.
And that advert done, another one that done very well for them and spoke to a specific audience. And then we saw a big split on professionals and creatives that would then go on just to use Apple products. Another campaign that done very well is the Dove campaign that over, what was the slogan? Talked about every woman being beautiful. And it would have women of all different shapes, sizes, color, ethnic backgrounds, and not your typical size 0 model. And it celebrated real beauty. Yeah. It ran a bunch of ads where they would have a model show up, sit in front of the camera, no makeup, no nothing. And then they would start putting the makeup on. And then the photos were taken and it was put into Photoshop, and then they'd start to manipulate her face, get rid of any blemishes, make her eyes bigger. And it was basically, I think the slogan at the end was along the lines of, no wonder we don't really know what natural beauty is, along those lines. Later on, so this, I think that's back in like 2003, 2004, they started this natural beauty campaign, and it has gone on and served them well as a campaign, and they've come back to it again and again.